Praise the Lord. My name is Esther Wambia. I love the Lord. I thank God for this moment that we are able to discuss the Christian marriage. Christian marriage is very important because it differentiates us from other marriages that are not godly. And when you are a Christian, there's so much that we can be able to learn for us to maintain our Christianity. You know, marriage does not exonerate us from continuing in our Christianity. But sometimes the enemy uses our marriages to be able to make us remain focused on other things other than God. And so we've been discussing about the special responsibility of a wife to a husband. And the other time we discussed about how women are supposed to submit to their husbands and how they're supposed to honor their husbands. And we talked about how Sarah honored Abraham and how Sarah was a very good woman, and that is why she's gone down on record on what she did. And today I want us to continue from there. And now number 3, wives are supposed to be friends to their husbands. If you read in the book of Titus chapter 2 verse 4, it talks about how women are supposed to, the older women are supposed to nurture the younger women into knowing and how to love and how to be friends to their husbands. We are supposed to be friends with our husbands in the sense that we are supposed to be able to sit with them and discuss things freely. And this one can only be done through companionship and shared interests and communication. So we are supposed to have, companionship. I said earlier, the Bible talks of when God created Adam, and he looked at Adam and he found that this woman was lonely, and he created Eve so that Eve could give companionship to Adam. And after giving that companionship, another thing that they're supposed to have is shared interest. You know, when you live together with someone, you're supposed to have shared interest. And any marriage that there is no shared interest, that's a dead marriage. Because you see, everybody does what is right in their own eyes. You know, there is nobody who consults the other. There is nobody who considers the other. Everybody does what he feels is right before them. And so we must have shared interest as a family or as a couple to be able to move in the same direction. So for us to be able to move together, we must look at the same direction. We must be able to look at what we want to achieve as a family, and we must contribute to it, both of us. And all our energies should be directed to what we want to achieve. So for us to be able to get all these, the companionship, shared interest, and communication, what we must do, one, as women, we must overcome the natural tendency of staying at home and feeling that all we are supposed to do is to be taking care of our homes. You know, taking care of our homes is part of our duties, fine. I don't refute that. It's good to take care of your home. But sometimes it's good just to find time to accompany your husband to places where he goes. Sometimes just prepare yourself, be ready, go with him where he goes. Sometimes he's going for probably a conference outside the country. Accompany him, go with him there. Be his companion there, be with him. Know what his job entails, what he deals with, what he works with, and the people surrounding him, and what is it that he goes through, the challenges he encounters, so that you can be able to be a comforter, to be able to be a pillar to lean on when he comes home and things are so tough. Because unless we understand them on that area, sometimes it's very difficult to comfort our husbands. When they come and we have our own issues, you find that sometimes we are not able to give them the comfort that they need. And that is why I'm saying it's very important for us to be able to move the same direction. We must give them company. To create a shoulder to lean on, we must be able to accompany them to places. Once in a while, of course, not every time you leave your home, but sometimes just let him allow you, or let him, whenever he calls you to accompany him, please find time to do so, because it's very important to be able to understand him. It's very important for us to understand them from all angles, from the work they do, from the things they do, and from even their challenges that they encounter. Number 2, we're supposed to keep ourselves attractive, so that actually when he calls upon you to accompany him, you are looking attractive. There's some women who stays at home. Sometimes they don't even find time to make their hair. They don't find time to groom themselves. So how the man left you in the morning is how he finds you in the evening. And so it's like he's losing the picture of how you looked like when you are young and when you are courting. And you need to keep that picture in his eyes, in his mind. Let him always see that picture whenever he comes. Be looking nice, even if you're not going somewhere. Just, take a good bath, find time to do things in the home, and also take time to groom yourself and to look nice, so that when he comes home, he finds that woman he saw from the beginning look attractive, so that when you look attractive, actually he'll even feel more okay, he'll want to go out with you more, and many times. But who wants to go out with somebody who looks so doesn't look nice and doesn't look attractive? Every man would want to go out with somebody who is looking attractive. And also that one will also erase or delete other pictures that he has of other women he's been working with outside there, because sometimes they are surrounded by so many people. Sometimes our husbands work with women, and we cannot say they should not work with women, because in the current world we must work together. Gender versus gender, we must work together. We must be able to work together. And so sometimes the Bible is very clear about how a man behaves, and men uses their eyes to see, and you cannot close your husband's eyes when he goes out there. So for you to be able to remain in his eyes, you must continually look attractive. You must continually look clean. You must continually make him continue to love you the more. So you must look attractive. Women, we must work hard for our looks. We must work hard. Kaa nyumbani, jitengeneze. Sometimes ukimaliza kazi zako, oga, ukae vizuri, vaa nguo zako zenye unajua ni nzuri, zenye zinampendeza. Akikuja nyumbani, akupate ukiwa mtu ambaye anapendeza. They will feel nice. It's very important for our husbands to be happy at home. And so number 3, stay informed. We are supposed to stay informed over the things that are around us, the current affairs, what is happening in the country today. Like for example, like now in Kenya, we have a lot of taxation. And the salary maybe your husband has been earning is the same salary he's earning today. And so you have to reduce your demands over the pay that he's getting, so that he can have peace. Sometimes when you are not informed of what is happening, I can assure you there are so many women who don't even know there is taxation, and they don't even know that the money has reduced. Some of them are still demanding the things they were demanding earlier on. So it's very important for us to be informed. Kaa tu kwa TV sometimes and watch the news and get to hear what is happening in the country today. Itakusaidia kujua ya kwamba there is a lot that is happening. Maybe your husband is so overwhelmed by what is happening that he doesn't even know where the next school fees will come from. And here you are putting a lot of demands. You want to do what, and this one pulls him down. Get informed. Get to know what is happening around you. Get to know what is happening in the country, what is happening in the neighborhood, so that when he comes home, he can be informed of what is happening in the neighborhood. Maybe you've lost a neighbor there. He needs to also show up. There are some men who don't even visit their neighbors. There are some men who don't know what is happening within the surroundings. You are a believer. You have never told anybody that you're born again, because you don't even meet them. Show up in some of the things that happen in the neighborhood. Enda tu kama jirani yako amefiliwa. You don't need to talk much. You only need to show up and show some concern as a believer. Show some concern. Tell your husband what is happening in the neighborhood, so that also aishi na watu. It's very important to live with people. It's very important to live with your neighbors. Let them know there is a neighbor called so and so. Let them know that this person can live with us, can work with us. Women, let us know what is happening around us, so that we can be able to help our husbands, be able to deal with the issues that come along. Sometimes things will happen, and if you are not able to deal with neighbors or to live with them, mambo ikikupata utaishi na nani? Who will come in to help you? Who will come in to wipe your tears? It is very important. It's only women who can be able to bring the neighborhood in their homes. So if the home has to succeed, it's the woman who has to succeed. So as a mama, be able to live with your neighbors, be able to understand what is happening around you, help your husband to understand what is happening, so that he can be able to catch up in the evening when he comes home. Ni ya muhimu sana kujua ya kwamba watu ambao unaishi na wao ni watu wa maana, na ni vizuri kuinteract pamoja na wao. And so it's also very important to understand that the current affairs, what is happening in the country, what is happening in the society, what is happening in the church, so that you can be able to understand what is your position. Sometimes it's very important to interact, even with the people in the church. Be there for them as a woman. Be there in the women ministry. Work with women. Work with other people so that you can be able to leave a mark during your living, during your life. So as women, there's so much we're supposed to know. There's so much we're supposed to learn. All this we do for our families, because it is many times men interact very little, but the much we interact, I remember the many times I've interacted. I've brought so many important people in the lives of our family because I've interacted outside there, and finally I've introduced my husband to these very people, and at some point they have become so instrumental in the things that we are doing, and that is very important as a woman. Sometimes men, they want to remain alone, and that's how they have been created. We cannot condemn them for that. And number 4, learn the basics of your husband's job, career. Understand what your husband does. Jua kazi yenye anafanya, so that you can be able to be accommodative. You know, sometimes there's these men who do some work which they have to go to the field. But the moment you understand the kind of job your husband does, you'll be able to be accommodative. And the moment he also understands your job, he'll be able to accommodate you. Understand the people he deals with. Understand the times that he's required to be working, so that you can be able to remain, of support to him. Sometimes, we accuse our husbands probably of infidelity, even when there is nothing, because the people he's dealing with are women. And I have also worked in an office, and I know when you're working in an office, there is nothing like you're dealing with women or dealing with men. You are dealing with colleagues. You are dealing with the people that you are working with. And it goes, sometimes you have to go out of your way, probably to meet this person somewhere, to be able to exchange something. Maybe there is something that is supposed to be done late in the night or early in the morning, and you have to show up because the company has to run. The company is not a family business, and unless it is a family business is when you can discuss on the modalities on how to do this work. But if he's employed by a company, the company needs him. At the time it needs him, he needs to show up. It does not matter whom he's showing up with. Maybe he deals with, in that department, he is the only man against maybe 3 or 4 ladies, and he has to work with them, and he has to interact with them. They have to discuss some things probably at night. I remember sometimes when I'm in my house, I could be called by my boss, and he's a man, and he could call me and tell me what he wants us to do the following morning. Probably he's traveling, he wants some logistics to be done and all that. And he could call me at night. But my husband, because he understood the kind of work I was doing, he was able to accommodate me. He would not start accusing me of infidelity or other things. We need to understand the kind of works our men or our husbands are involved in, so that we can be able to accommodate them and give them peace in that jobs. I can assure you there are some women who don't give their husbands peace. They are working, and they are so much overwhelmed by the accusations, counter accusations, over what they are doing, and what actually sometimes they're not doing it. Sometimes they're just accused falsely. And it is a very hurting thing when you accuse your husband falsely. Sometimes when you accuse him, you introduce a thought of infidelity in his mind. Probably he had never thought about infidelity. But because you have accused him, he says, whether I do it or not, I'm still accused. So it's very important, mamas, understand your husband's job. Let him know that wherever he is, he's safe as far as the wife is concerned. So that even when he's out late, he can be able to send a text and tell you, today I'm late, I'm in such and such a place, this is what we are doing. But there's some men who will never send their wives text, because when they send a text, there'll be a counter text telling them, oh, that's a lie, I know you are just, oh, blah, blah, blah. So for this man not to get that text, they just keep quiet wherever they are and come home whatever time they come, ready to face whatever they are going to face. So you find that this home will never have peace. Why? Because there is a suspicion. There is somebody who is not understanding what the other person is doing. Women, we are supposed to understand what our husbands are dealing with, so that we can accommodate them. Another thing is that show that you can be trusted. We are supposed to show our husbands that we can be trusted. Whatever our husbands entrust us with, we are supposed to be able to be trusted with it. We can be able to deal with it, so that when a husband gives you money, let me say for food, for example, you're supposed to make sure that that money does exactly what has been given for. Sometimes men can be so busy, like my husband, sometimes he's so busy. Probably there is some project that is being done in the home, and he can trust me that project. He needs to give me some money so that I can be able to do this 1, 2, 3, or maybe probably to pay the outgoings and all that. I have to show that I'm trusted with that money so that he can give me money and I can be able to account for every cent. Write down whatever the money has done. Or have receipts. It doesn't mean that when you keep a receipt for your husband, you're being a slave or something. You know, some people would say that this money belongs to both of us. Right, that money is for both of us. That money belongs for me and my husband. But this money is meant for a project. And we have sat down and discussed and agreed that this money is going to do this project. Let this money do that project. And let me show my husband that he can trust me with that money so that when he's not there, the project will continue. You know, there are some projects that stalls in families because unless the husband is there to do the project, he cannot trust his wife with money. And because the woman cannot be trusted, he would say, this man hata anipeangi pesa, so this is an opportunity for me to get his money. Unapata pesa, unachukua unaeka kwa mfuko, and you don't do the work it's supposed to do. You know what you have done? You have stolen from yourself. The project that is being prepared or is being done here is for both of you. And so the development that is coming into the family is for both of you. So it is very important for us to understand that whatever my husband's money is doing it for both of us. And so I'm supposed to be trusted. It's good to be trusted by your husband. It is very important for me to show him that he can trust me and me alone. Why should he trust somebody else? Probably sometimes we have even workers in the home. And there are some men who trust workers more than their wives. Because whenever you have been given money, it has not done the work it was supposed to do. And because this man doesn't want fights and wars in the home, anasema ya kwamba wacha nipatie huyu mtu mwenye atanipea accountability. Anapatia mtu wa kazi pesa, anamwambia hii pesa ifanye ABCD, and when I come back I want to get receipts. Because the moment he tells you anataka kupata receipts, unaanza kusema, oh, my husband treats me like a worker, my husband trusts me. You know, show that he does not need receipts. He can trust you with what he gives you. And whenever he gives you money, you can properly sit down and account for it without feeling intimidated. Because that is what money is all about to do. So we are supposed to show them that we can be trusted. And number 4, we are supposed to show we are supposed to make our husbands succeed. Wives carry the success of the home. The Bible records in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18 about what God gave to Adam, that he was making a helpmate fit for him. You know, a helper, somebody who is supposed to help. You know, we are supposed to identify our husband's weaknesses and stand strong in those weaknesses, so that whatever it is that weakness would make our husband to achieve, they can be able to achieve through us. We are supposed to sit down and identify what is it that my husband cannot be able to do. Sometimes, like my husband, if I may say, he's a very busy man. He's a minister of the gospel. He's here and there. He does a lot of work as far as missions are concerned. He's in Sudan. He's in US. He's where? Doing the work of God. And here I am. Probably I've been left behind to do 1 or 2 things in the church or all those other things. And I would want to do something that can be seen that I'm doing. So what I would want to do is to make sure that even in the ministry where we are, it is successful. Whenever he leaves me, maybe in the church and is gone out of the country, I have to stay strong. I have to stand strong. I have to make sure things are going right. I am not going to fight, the elders in the church, left, right, and center, telling them, oh, I am the pastor right now. You have to listen to me. I am a pastor, yes, but you see, I'm supposed to do pastoral work. And pastoral work, part of it is to nurture and to make sure that people remain together and work together. And that is why there is a shepherd staff. When you're given that staff, it's supposed to make sure that you put people together. So me as a woman, I'm not going to say that now I have a chance to rule over these people. Sasa mimi ndio nimebaki kanisani. Sasa watajua niko hapana. We are supposed to work together. He is supposed to know that when he has left me, I'll do exactly what he's been doing. I am supposed to nurture. I'm supposed to preach. I'm supposed to make sure that the messages that even I preach are able to bring people together to realization of what God can do, so that I'm supposed to make the ministry to thrive and to continue, and to make sure that the people who sit under him feel comfortable left with me. Women are supposed to make their husbands succeed. When you're left at home with those workers, apana kuwakimbiza left, right, and center. Apana, make sure that they are comfortable. Make sure that they are working. Make sure that whatever they are doing, when they are left with you, they can do as much work as when they are left with him. Let them prefer even being left with you, because what you're doing to them, you are nurturing them, you are helping them. And all this happens for the success of the family. Women are supposed to help their husbands to succeed. Be a helpmate who is fit for the man. Work towards his success. Don't pull him down. Sometimes there's some women who will want to pull their husbands down. No. When you pull a man down, you're pulling yourself down. Make sure that the husband is going up, is succeeding. The family is coming up. Brethren, church, Kanisa, we are supposed to help our husbands to succeed. That is what it means about you. That is what it's all about, a Christian family. A Christian family is supposed to be all round, helping each other come up. God bless you. Amen.